First set, the Serena Williams to serve. Ready?
Serena Williams
Play.
won the toss and elected to serve. Well, that's one gauntlet down.
15 love.
That's created quite a murmur. And nothing wrong with the movement before the tube shot.
Up. 13 love.
Well, that first point answered a couple of questions. Moved up quickly to that shot. Leg looks fine. Also, no love lost between these two.
Super.
Justina just explodes out to the right on this shot. Keeps that racket well out in front.
It's not often you say this about Serena Williams, but she needs to start well today. Hit very gently yesterday indoors, very gently. Good catch in the crowd.
40-13.
Made his day.
Yes. It's the cat that got the cream.
Serena's second serve. Very deep. A lot of spin. Jumps up high.
Game, Miss Williams.
Swirly wind, but not interrupting.
First game.
Her 33rd ace, 34th ace, excuse me, of the tournament. Beautiful swing on it in the breeze, and Oracene sitting courtside.
She didn't need to change seats. Watch one daughter.
Yes.
Take out Sharapova. Next up. There's Father Richard. Carlos Rodriguez right behind him. Carlos, Justine's coach.
Missing out to serve.
When she was 14 years old.
Love 15.
Incredible difference between the noise in this match to the previous one.
Serena Williams has obviously come out with that calf tape today, but also her left hand. Looks like her left thumb.
Ever present in Justine's life. For 11 years now, they've been a unit.
30 all.
She's not going to be all about power today. Nice touch.
Made it.
(40-30).
Serena Williams obviously going to attack every return of serve. She's moving inside that baseline to hit it early.
Super sound on that winner.
1 game all, first set.
So both established in the match, a service hold each. The respect, you can almost feel the respect for each other on the other out there. It's massive.
Love 15.
Intensity level is at a maximum from the beginning. Both players realizing that I think this might be their toughest match in the tournament.
(15 all).
Williams obviously has the advantage in height and in strength.
Nice.
(13-15).
Good to see Serena Williams coming into the net using touch shots as well. She's the one that's won this title 2 times before in the past. Justine's never won it.
(14-15).
Super use of the slice. Looks as though she's been playing that shot for years.
Game, it's Williams. It's Williams leads 2-1 first set.
8 minutes played. We've had vastly different routes through to this quarterfinal. Justine Henin, in the 8 sets she's played, just 15 games conceded, just carrying on from where she left off in France, and of course in Eastbourne recently. So just so used to winning as she has been for so long now. #1 in the world. This is her 72nd week non-consecutive at the top of the pile. So is fresh for this match, that is for sure. For Serena, obviously a different route. It was 2 hours and 7 minutes getting the win against Daniela Hantuchova, and of course we're still waiting to see the reaction from the injury. She's probably waiting herself. Only she knows the extent, whether it was just the cramps or whether the calf was strained as this match unfolds.
She has some notes under that towel that she was looking at. The Australian Open, she was looking at some notes and it just had her half-sister's name on it, Yetundi. Yetundi was her sister that was murdered September of '03 in Compton, California. She said that inspired her to the championship.
This wind is picking up. very windy when Henin played Schneider in the 4th round. She coped with it brilliantly.
Love 15.
It's on this court on Monday. So used to the different conditions without the roof. The pair of them.
Love 13.
Big difference on their first serve. Serena's throwing in 114 miles per hour average on the first, Justine about 94. It's early on, but it'll probably stay about that way.
$15-13.
Justine Henin's got to feel a tremendous amount of pressure to get a lot of first serves in. Doesn't want to let Williams take a look at that second serve a lot.
Yeah. Serena Williams not best pleased with that return. The wind is interfering, though. Pretty windy against Hantuchova as well, of course, still on this court Monday for Williams. Tucked her dress in. Just causing havoc with it, the wind. Well, a come on from Williams and alley from Henin.
2 games all, first set.
Very interesting to see Williams employ that backhand slice. It's not a shot that she uses frequently. It's the gusts of wind that make it difficult. It's not a constant wind.
And in windy conditions, Tracy, it's a case of checking the flight of the ball more closely to see if it's interrupted before really committing to a shot choice.
And great footwork.
Yeah.
Watching the ball, and you've got to take those little steps at the last second to adjust for balance.
Let first serve. $30-15.
Did not hit this cleanly, hit it off the top of the frame, and it was actually an advantage for Justine because it just dribbled over the net. Serena Williams smiled after that. She knew it wasn't a clean hit.
$40-15.
Similar for both women, the percentage of points won behind the first serve this tournament. For Henin, 78%. For Serena, just 2% less at 76, but both got such effective first serves.
Such great timing from Justine Henin. Williams tried to jam her hit into the body. She moved away from it, hit it well out in front of her. Robbed time from Williams.
Well played.
Miss Williams.
3-2 Williams, first set.
Miss Williams leads 3-2 first set.
It's good news so far for Serena Williams. Movement seems to be okay. Yes, there's a little compromise on that backhand occasionally with the left leg because she normally likes to hit it off a left leg square stance. But normally, when we talk about playing against Serena for opponents, Tracy, we talk about the importance of playing down the line and serving into the body and so on. So it's almost encouraging that with these slice backhands.
Yeah, she's showing some great variety. And what I like to see is she's so fired up for this match because at the French Open, she came out for their quarterfinal against Justine emotionally flat. Didn't have as much energy, wasn't as alert as she usually is. And she said, I never want that to happen to me again. Very high quality for the first 5 games.
2-3. Stunning.
Love 15.
There's just not enough time to get your racket finished with the serve and up, ready for that forehand. Just phenomenal return.
That last serve matched Justine's fastest of the tournament. And it was sent back about 150 miles per hour. And we saw this against Hantuchova, Tracy. I mean, when she was struggling with the injury and so on, she stood well inside the baseline for the first time in the match, swung on the returns, having to hit winners quickly. Seems to be that way again today. You spotted her standing inside the baseline in the opening service game of Henin. She's maintained it.
Beautiful backhand from Justine, and Serena hits it soundly.
15.
And so quick there for the next passing shot.
Game is on. 3-all, first set.
Quickly back to 3-all. Super to see the sunshine still. And let's hope this one is not interrupted. Talked about the locker room being where the matches are won and lost so far the last few days. Nice if it was just all out here on the court.
15 love.
Now a slice off that forehand wing from Serena. Just throwing everything but the kitchen sink at Justine Henin.
Super shot, but the wind slowed it down as well.
Big gust of wind. Came at the last moment. This ball completely stopped. A swing and a miss from Henin.
It's not the rain, it's the wind. Having to adjust the dress again.
Tucking it in. It's blowing way up.
40 love.
Maybe a call to go to the locker room to borrow a pair of Venus's shorts.
She's got shorts on underneath. It's probably just uncomfortable. That was a real change of pace, that second serve. 85 miles per hour. Justine Henin struck it too early.
Just a heat pad, that black taping. Understood. Score over the crowd. I'll say that. First love game of the match. Williams to the chair with a 4-3 lead.
Williams leads 4 games to 3. First set. New balls.
So it's beautifully poised, it really is. Everybody enthralled here. 13,791 seats, most of them taken, understandably. And the scene is looking brighter all the time. That is some picture, that. And of course, new roof will be in place in 2009. Speaking to somebody from the All England this morning, saying a German man years and years ago sent in a concept of putting a sort of a massive cover over the entire site. Obviously one of those rainy Wimbledons. It was probably 25 years ago, the last time it was as wet as this. One court will benefit, but it'll be very welcome. New balls, Henin 3-4.
Love.
It's interesting that Williams is trying to change the pace because it's usually Justine that'll throw in that backhand slice. I think Williams can out-hit Justine.
careful because they're difficult to deal with.
30 love.
No pace.
That's one question that I get asked an awful lot. How does Justine Henin, who's just under 5'6", produce so much pace on that backhand? Racket head speed and great technique. And a very strong core, very strong midsection. Allows her to rotate.
30-15.
Henin really struggling with that first service percentage. She's at 38%. Williams at 62.
That basically means I missed it as soon as I hit it.
How did that happen?
4 games all, first set.
We will see more frame shots today because of the wind. Also because the big swings, Justine Henin, even though she's #1 in the world, she has a big swing. She will shank a ball or two.
Serena claimed the #1 spot in the world for herself, beating Sister Venus in the final here 5 years ago. Spent 57 weeks there at #1. Played.
Excellent return of serve from Henin. Follows it up to the net. Quick reaction.
Love 30.
Not quite there. Serena Williams was not on balance that shot. She has tremendous foot speed, but doesn't necessarily have great footwork, those little steps at the end.
Serve.
15-30.
Predominantly used that serve this side, the right court side. It's been a good mix on the left court side.
Couple of break points. That looked like an easy shot, but Henin struck it off the frame.
Henin leads 5-4, first set.
First break of the match, of course, and the first strike for Henin. And there's a look behind those eyes when she gives Carlos Rodriguez a "How am I doing so far?" It's a formidable look, isn't it?
She gets that ball back any way she knows how, stretches that body and comes in and measures that lob beautifully. She will look at Carlos Rodriguez almost between every single point. Just a terrific athlete, Justine Henin. Just a real versatile game, all-court player. Volleys extremely well. Hit with power, hit with touch. It's Carlos and his son. Describing their relationship, he says it's not like a father and it's not like a brother. It's somewhere in between. Because remember, Justine Henin was estranged from her family since she was about 18 years old. She got a divorce earlier this year after being married 4 or 5 years. Carlos Rodriguez and his family really was her family for a long time.
Serving for the set. Looking for the serve and volley. Used that a lot at Eastbourne.
Bye.
Just looking for confirmation of the call. First serve and volley here, and in these conditions, very tricky but interesting to use it. They're both flirting with the lines.
15 love.
And on a shot that looked like she was on the defense, comes up with offense.
Could never tire of the sight of, well, one
13
lady's
love.
tired of it, clearly there in picture, but what a stroke that is. It was the trademark when she first came on tour with a forehand. What a weapon that is too.
(30-15).
Third double. Both women had served 10 double faults in their 4 previous matches.
(40-15).
Two set points.
Let for serve.
Super.
One for set and Sana.
Great way to finish.
Six games to 4.
32 minutes. 6-4 for Henin. And remember, they've played 10 times previously and only once in all the head-to-heads has the player who's dropped the opening set won the match. So in other words, whoever wins the first set normally wins the match. That was in Miami last year in the final. Serena Williams lost the first set 6-love. This year, Miami, rather. Then came back to win 5-3. How significant that first set, Tracy?
Well, that's got to help Serena Williams, the fact that she lost that first set 6-love. Justine Henin was serving for the match at 5-4, had 2 match points, and Serena fought hard and won that match. So she can pull from that. That just happened a few months ago. Total winners for Justine Henin, 10. Not much between them there. That first service percentage, still not great for Justine, but she has not lost her serve. Only that one service break the whole set, the 9th game where Williams was broken.
It's also a new site, wasn't it? You mentioned Serena's notes for Justine when she had sealed envelopes But the French she opened, and the very last one she opened
Time.
when she served for the title was just one word: allez.
Very appropriate. And that was a special title for her because she was back together with her siblings. That was also new for them. First time that they'd ever
Second set,
see
Miss Williams to serve.
her win a Grand Slam.
First point, second set.
Fifteen love.
Little cat and mouse.
13 love.
Both anticipating the shots extremely well, and the ball taking this ball, or excuse me, the wind taking this ball long.
Played. Starting to make noises.
14 love.
As the effort will increase to turn this around.
Boy, the noise that first match. So loud.
Game, Miss Williams.
Always changes ends at the end of the first game of the set.
First game, second set.
From the opposite side to the umpire's chair, Serena Williams. She doesn't want a drink or a towel down. She just wants to get on with it.
Good to see Williams come out quickly. She's got to just think of herself, this is now just 2 sets that I need to worry about, that I need to think about. Put that first set out of her head. She is an incredible fighter. How many times have we seen her down in matches and she claws her way back in?
15 love. Fifteen old.
On the full run, gets
13,
that
15.
shoulder turn. Just pushes that hand out, extends the shoulder. Very loose arm. Forty, 15. And that backhand, Anna has that ability to just send it up another gear. Add a little more power.
Needed another step, maybe.
40-13.
It's got a little glued.
Incredible get from Serena Williams. That was off the baseline. She just picked it up with a forehand. Just an excellent volley. Williams had to get a lot of topspin to get that down low.
Serve on the line again.
1-game-all second set.
Just set up so well for the put away.
Still so amazing that this is a quarterfinal match, particularly when you think the other quarterfinal in this top half, Bartley and Krajicek, number 18 seed, number 31st seed.
Love 15.
And that's a shot where she's just not quite on balance off that back foot. When you're on your back foot like that, the racket head opens, sends the ball long.
It is a lesson today of how to play in these conditions, just to adjust. And watching the ball is a overused phrase in tennis, but it is so important today.
Please.
Be able to adjust with your feet and your hands at the last second, the split second, like Williams just did on that backhand. These types of shots that elevated the women's game about 7 years ago when Venus and Serena came to the forefront of women's tennis. Could hit penetrating shots on the defense.
Oh.
40-15.
Justine Henin won Eastbourne last week, beating Mauresmo in the final, and I don't think there is a windier tournament that you can play.
Yes.
It's windy just about every day in that tournament.
Yes, the seagulls have square noses.
Let second serve.
Wow.
Just steps up into it with confidence. Short backswing.
Venus Williams. Williams leads 2-1 second set for Saint Messina.
Intensity levels rising. The crowd didn't seem to appreciate that. They sort of almost went quiet and not a lot of applause, but that's Serena's way and Venus too. And always fascinated me Tracy, when she was asked how she won the Australian Open in 2005, her first Australian title, 7th major, because she was a set and 5-4 down against Sharapova, 5-4 down in the third as well, saved 3 match points, was struggling in the final against Davenport, but won. So she said it was simple. I'm a Green Day groupie, very big band that she adores and loves, knows every song, every word, every lyric in every one of the songs on the albums. And she said, if you win the Australian Open, you get your face on a big poster as you're walking to the court in the alley there. She said, I thought if I win it twice, the Australian Open, then there's every chance of just getting my picture up there for the first time. They'll see, because they were playing Melbourne Park not that long after, and it gave her extra motivation to win.
Hey, whatever the motivation is, whatever it takes, this year when she won it, she said that it was because she had so many doubters that believed that she could come back. She was 81st in the world. She said there were doubters even in my own camp. But I'd like to prove people wrong.
Please, wait, please.
Serena's put her racket up. Wow. This brings back memories, but the opposite player.
That was some day that day. Justine says they get on fine
Wait, please.
in the locker room. It's out here where it counts.
Oh! 15 love.
Just a look, no challenge. We haven't had a challenge yet.
Love.
Hasn't offered a break point yet on serve, Anna.
Which to me says a lot about the second shot that Justine hits, because Serena's a wonderful return. Whoa.
Single-hander, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's called off balance.
14 love.
That balance I was talking about, when you're off balance, you can't hit a shot Mach 2.
And again, it's so often we see the weight on that left leg on the double-handed backhand, so impeded, it seems.
Oh! Game is on.
Love game.
2 games all, second set.
This is reminiscent of the French Open, isn't it? The match this year. She's winning all the mini battles, Justine.
She is, but Serena Williams is a lot more alert in this match.
Love.
That is her favorite serve.
Love.
Wow.
We're taught to hit the approach up the line to cut out the angles, but I'm not sure you want to go into that in a backhand.
30 all.
It's that shot right there, that second shot that Williams has to hit. She's struggling with that a little bit more than Enna. Enna's done such a great job on the defense, getting herself back in the point. This point had a lot in it. That inside-out forehand from Enna has improved so much, but it just clipped the net.
Miss Williams. Miss Williams leads 3-2, second set. First set, Miss Enna.
No breaks this set so far. And I suppose for Serena, Tracy, it's all about serve and forehand. We've seen the frailty of the backhand with the movement, being able to really land the weight off the left leg. She loves to hit the forehand off the open stance and has to look to dominate more with it if she can.
Williams is looking to get more winners and cut down on the unforced errors. Of course, it's so tough to get the winners on Justine Enna. She's so speedy around the court. Kim Clijsters called Enna best defensive player as far as keeping herself in points, getting points back to neutral, and it's an advantage to have that backhand slice. That one-hander, she gets more reach on it.
It's remarkable that she's still here playing in the tournament.
Time.
Remember the scenes of her writhing in agony in front of the royal box. The rain saved her, some treatment time, and still able to fight on. So always a threat, she always is. 2 times former champion, runner-up looking for a hat-trick of titles. Maria Sharapova's triumph in 04. And 2-3.
Love 15.
A casual fan that doesn't watch tennis other than these 2 weeks might wonder, why does Enna and Serena Williams have to meet up in the quarters? Serena's ranked 8 in the world because she doesn't play the full 17. If they take your points off, full 17 tournaments. Excellent.
Love 30.
Williams pumping her fists. She sees that there's a little opening. Great depth on the lob. They take your best 17 tournaments and the points from that in the last 52 weeks. And Serena usually only plays about 10 or 11 tournaments.
15-30.
In fact, last year, 2006, because of injuries and personal situations, she only played 4 events, a total of 16 matches.
Oh!
Right.
Very confusing why Serena went to that backhand slice. Williams, her backhand slice has a tendency to sit up. Enna, when she hits the slice, it knifes and stays down low.
Oh, fabulous.
Thirteen, 14.
Williams hunkered down for this shot. Got the body way down. Send it back with more pace.
Break point, her first.
Then, Miss Williams. New balls, please.
The crowd a little slow to react.
Miss Williams leads 4 games to 2, second set.
Got her first break. And new balls to aid. And of course, the Williams family just broke all the rules when it came to tournaments as young players. They virtually didn't play any tournaments in juniors, so they were used to lack of competition. That was their way. Just get the standard up to the right level and you'll start winning. And it's been that way since. Just 53 tournaments for Serena in the last 5.5 years.
Fun point to watch.
Certainly tested the movement.
Quickly up there, and 5'10", stretches every
15.
inch of it to get that ball.
Justine's played this match like Serena is 100% fully fit.
That's what you need to do.
Love 13.
I'm not sure you can tell on TV how gusty it was this point.
Love 14.
Break back point straight away. Must have held her breath for a while when Serena went the right way off that forehand, but
Fifteen, 14.
Second serve of Serena Williams jumps up so high, it got about head level on Enna. Tough to control.
found the line, forcing the error.
30, 14.
2 break points saved, 1 to go. The crowd seem delighted with that. Now let's catch up with Jason Goodall in Hawkeye.
Afternoon, Chris.
Williams leads
Just
4 games to
been
3,
taking a
second
closer
set
look
for
at the
Seth
tactics that Justine's using from the back of the court. Now she's mixing things up nicely, hitting about 50% to Serena's forehand and 50% to the backhand. And that works well because so far Serena's run 16% farther than Justine. Now, given what happened the other day and the injury to that left calf muscle, it's an intelligent tactic to use. Now, she doesn't just do that, though. The obvious shot here would be to go up the line to Serena's backhand, but Serena knows that. That's why she's leaning to her left. But look what Justine does. She goes back behind Serena, and here's why it's a good tactic. Look at all the strain that puts that left calf muscle under. And Serena has struggled when she's been forced to change direction and move and hit that wide forehand, and she's made a lot of unforced errors off that particular wing. So Justine has played a very smart match from the back of the court so far.
Thanks a lot, Jason. Now we know why you're called Hawkeye. Terrific that.
Well done. And that last volley that Anna hit, she wrong-footed Serena Williams as well.
Net for serve. Love.
Just looking for confirmation again from Adela Ref of Tunisia in the chair.
15-all.
Yeah, but not now, yeah.
Net for serve. Net for serve.
That really was an alley. So low over the net.
She works
13,
so
15.
hard to stay close to the baseline. Doesn't want to give up much real estate there. Wants to hit the ball nice and early. Tried to keep the advantage in the point.
Missed it.
30-all.
What a difference. 40-15 to 30-all. We'll look to feed off that, Williams.
Anna's going to be mad at herself. She doesn't show it.
How you doing, Martina? Tracy Austin and Chris Bradnam. And another break point.
Serves Williams.
3 breaks in a row, and how costly that backhand error off the let cord.
Anna didn't seem to recover
3 second set.
after she missed that easy approach. She had the court wide open, just really needed to get it in to get ahead 40-15 that point. She made herself a big hole in this second set.
Love 15.
Truly have never seen Williams come up with this many backhand slices.
Must just be the movement, mustn't it, and the weight on that left leg.
Maybe she's a little off balance and feels jammed, and she feels that's the only shot that she can go to.
Yeah.
$15 all.
Doesn't seem to have any problem putting all the weight on the lead leg for the serve.
15.
So 5th ace. And 120 miles per hour.
$30 all.
Her 6th ace. Her favorite serve out wide on the deuce court sets up set point. Wow, gutsy shot.
Deuce.
She's hit this so many times in practice. She goes to automatic pilot.
Advantage, Miss Williams.
Second chance to take this match the distance.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Williams challenging the in-call on the service line.
Our first challenge. Finding the screen eventually, Serena.
Second set, Miss Williams. 6 games to 3. What's up?
By the narrowest of margins. It is a set-all. Third time in the head-to-heads. They've gone 3 sets. Justine leads 2-1, but it goes back to that one in Miami this year that Serena won from a set down. Love 6. and still hanging in as only Serena can. Some competitor.
Both of them, they lay it on the line. They seem to come up with the goods in the crucial moments. They able to elevate their games. You know what? This third set. Get some tea, sit down on the couch, hunker down. This is like a heavyweight battle here. This is going to be fascinating.
Yeah.
Not much between these phenomenal athletes. Williams with 5 aces, Enna only 1. Enna 2 double faults that set, but 5 overall. And it's the break points won that set for Serena Williams. She got 2 breaks in that set, and both times Enna was broken. She had a couple of easy shots that she just overhit. Only takes about 2 shots, 2 points in each set to change the momentum around.
And of course, that set finished with a challenge from to Hawkeye. Let's just have a look at this again. On that shot, it looks out, but just before they actually sort of went down to the flattened version, it looked like a tiny part of the center service line had been caught on the service line that goes across the court.
That one's very tough to tell because it's you know, not a clean line.
Yeah.
But to me, it did looked like it caught a bit of that line.
Final set.
New
Missing out the
racket,
serve.
new racket for Serena Williams. And Anne serving. First point, final set.
15 love.
Missed the return, so straight away Serena looked at the racket. Super. Such good strength earlier on in the point.
15 on.
Williams coming in to finish the point off, and this is the 11th meeting between the two, so they know how each other play. There's not going to be any surprises out here. It's about who executes.
And neither really have changed that much from the beginning of the match. It's that tight.
15-30.
6th double fault. She doesn't have as much margin for error on her second serve. She hits it much flatter, whereas Williams has more air on the shot. It goes about a meter over the net, and the topspin brings it down.
Good response to the double.
30 on.
And what an emphatic alley after it. Placing a lot of importance on this game. Carlos Rodriguez, he's a hard taskmaster. It's always a worrying sign when the shoulders start to head towards his ears.
Right at the body.
Yeah.
14-13.
We were so surprised Hantuchova didn't use that serve more, because that was instrumental in her win against Serena in Australia. And Enan has been very sparing with it. Just the 7th body serve in the match.
Game 5.
But holds.
First game, final set.
And the reason for that is when Serena and Venus are both moving onto the ball, they are so dangerous.
Well, they're so tall. 5'10" for Serena, 6'1" for Venus. You have those long limbs. It's tough to get out of the way of that ball coming right at you.
Love one, third set. Looking to force.
Love 15.
Just an incredible point. In attack mode from Enna.
Let.
Been a lot of talk about Federer rehearsing in matches for the French Open. It's almost like Henin adopted that at Eastbourne, serving and volleying. Enormous amount coming to the net and so on. Are we going to see it more here, perhaps? Tough in these conditions to reiterate. Clever.
Enna read
Love
this
13.
drop shot, moved in quickly at that first quick step.
Just a look, no argument. Wow.
15-13.
You see such a well-fought match out here. You miss the fact that they didn't play from the semifinals of Wimbledon in '03 all the way to Miami this year. It's almost 4 years. As fans, we got robbed because of that.
Yes.
Such fighters, such competitors. The inside-out
15-14.
forehand is what set this up. And this is not a shot that was big time about 4 years ago. The forehand was the clear weapon.
Break points.
Thirty 14.
Still getting the chances, though. First strike, Henin, third set.
Messina leads 2 games to love, final
Well,
set.
you're not allowed to coach officially. And I think he was saying, move in, volley. If my lip reading's any good. 2-love, third set. Of course, the tour has experimented with allowing coaches courtside during matches because it's so tough to police coaching from the side of the court.
Love 15.
And of course, the notes, one of the sealed packages for Justine in the final of the French was move forwards, get to the net when you can.
Oh, what did that mean? Reach up? Or was that just a cramp in his neck?
Well, he's playing the match. He must be getting stiff.
A lot easier up in that box, though, than it is on court, I must say. This woman makes the choices and the right choices most of the time. Incredible tennis mind.
Another one of those dropping in with the amount of topspin on it.
This one clearly looked like it was going wide. It
15
was that topspin that just brought that ball in. And of course, then when it hits, it moves away from Williams.
Another huge gust. Made it. After a bit of luck.
30-15.
Oh.
40-15.
It's not textbook backhand from Williams, but she'll take it. She struck it late, used a lot of that left hand to get it in the court.
Juice.
Slice from Williams. Held that ball up and struck it a little early.
Look at the look. Straight back to Carlos Rodriguez.
Advantage Misena.
Sons are giving him advice as well. Now, Dad, tell her to do this. Get in, come on. Yeah, you're get Justine, come on.
He's not paid attention to his son at all.
Misena leads 3-0 final set.
Well, this is some development that we're getting a bird's eye view here. We've got Hawkeye, bird's eye, we've got everything going on. But it's a 3-love lead after that struggle of the opening game this set. All one way, but interesting talk points emerging here, Tracy.
Well, as coaching allowed, and Sharapova's gotten warnings at a couple of the last Grand Slams. US Open last year, Australian Open this year, and this is clearly coaching, so they've either got to go with no coaching allowed and stick to it and start to give warnings, or make it possible to have coaches talk to their pupils like they do in the regular tournaments.
Yes.
They've never tried it at the Grand Slam, where the coach is allowed to come out after each set and talk to their students.
And most other sports, it happens, of course, so why not tennis?
Time.
Why is it staying
Well,
with
it's
the tradition?
It's always been a tradition that it's, you study for the test, as Roger Federer says, and then when the time for the test comes, you've got to take the test on your own. You don't ask your mom to come in with you and help you.
Huge game now for the 2-times former champion. Love 3 down, third set. She's got to start, and it's got to start right here to come back.
15 love.
There are times when you feel that she's just trying so hard, she's going to burst, Serena.
Love.
Not only doing that to G herself up, but she's sending a message to her opponent.
Justine's getting it, but she's already been sent that message many times in the past.
40 love.
Serena Williams is never down and out until you shake hands.
Mm.
14-15.
Again,
I
just
just
hindered.
figured it out.
Go on.
That left hand is taped, and that left hand might be hurting her to hit that two-handed backhand.
Venus Williams. Messina leads 3-1, final set.
Of course, Venus Williams, her older sister, was out for about 6 months last year with a left wrist injury.
It's toe-to-toe, it really is.
15 love. Love.
It's amazing when you think there's been so much attention on the leg and the cramps and the calf. We've almost dismissed the bandaged wrist, haven't we, as not being a player here.
Well, Venus plays with both wrists bandaged, and so many players play with different parts of the body bandaged.
Love.
She has many more bandages on. We'll have to call her mummy. Second love game of the match for Anand to extend the lead.
Messina leads 4-1, final set.
Immediate eye contact. Carlos' sons are sort of barely able to sit still. We've seen Richard Williams up out of his chair, particularly in that match against Daniela, and giving her advice and pointing to the sky, wait for the rain, hang out there. But it's much excitement in the Rodriguez camp, and Carlos will be saying, look, son, it's great to get excited. Let's try and stay cool, though. There's still 2 more games to book a place in a 5th semi-final here. It would be for Justine, and her 15th in a major. Still work to be done.
A lot of work to be done because of this young lady right here. Looks like it should be finished soon. Looks like Justine Henin has the momentum.
Time.
You hear the fans say, keep fighting, and there's no doubt she'll do that. She is very hungry, and it's good to see, Chris, that looks like Serena's going to play more of a full schedule this year. She's been so on and off the tour for the last 3.
Williams 1-4, final set.
Love.
Yeah, a few eyes skyward. It's got darker, that's for sure, recently. Not much blue left now, is there, in the sky? Compared to the start of the match. Super.
Too much time. Williams comes up with a topspin approach. Really just sits up in the wheelhouse for Enna to comfortably pass.
Yelped in pain there, Serena, and hang out the left leg.
I'm not sure if that left leg or the left hand or wrist. Williams, after the French, went home to Florida for 2 weeks, worked with her trainer, Carrie Brooks, very hard.
Again, rapturous applause. It's a break point for a double break. Missed it.
New ball, please. Enna leads 5-1. Final set. Ball change.
What a beautiful pass from Enna to come up with a break. Just measured that backhand perfectly. She's shown great versatility. I would have expected her to come to the net more often today, but she hasn't had to.
New balls serving for a place in the semi-finals. Marion Bartoli, 18th seed of France, awaits.
Well, 15.
Looking up at the sky to Justine's right. Big cloud. She can't focus on that.
Love 13.
She's pretty much thrown everything at Anand in this match, but there's still more to come from Serena Williams. She is playing quicker, Anand. She's rushing a little. Both been great winners, but who said winning was easy? Break points.
Williams.
He's out the chair again. Serena Williams was on the floor again, the Royal box end, but got up
Serena leads 5-2, final set.
to win the point, get a break, and hang on in there.
She was back at the part of the court that's a little greener, not the brown patch that's closer to the baseline, and that part can get a little greasier. I've noticed on that backhand side, she's not hitting with as much topspin. She's not using that left hand to kind of push up and develop that topspin. Serena Williams, they've gone to a little flatter backhand. Justine Henin seemed to really rush that point, that game, excuse me. Double faulted the first point. Got a little tentative, which is understandable. You've got to continue to play the same way that got you in that winning position.
Time.
Aggressively. The word that she likes to use, I've got to play with aggressivity. She makes that word up, and I love it.
The crowd fully absorbed in this. They have been from the moment they walked onto the court. Two 2-5, third set.
Overhead with the swirling wind.
15 love.
Look at the faces. A lot of adjustment in that point from both women. The wind was playing with the ball rather than the players.
Ace to only one for Henin.
If she holds here, the next game is going to be mighty interesting.
What a luxury to be able to come with those up with those aces and unreturnables. Doesn't have that same luxury on the serve.
So often happens you hit your best returns on the serves that are out. Gutsy. She's built a career on guts, power, determination, and sheer willpower is keeping her in this quarterfinal.
Henin's going to have to take more time this service game than she did last. Make each point count.
It's a huge difference winning that first point, isn't it?
Takes a little pressure off.
15-13.
This match is keeping them warm.
Perfectly executed at such a crucial moment.
30-all.
Williams on that last backhand took the left hand off on her follow-through.
Anna, 2 points from the semi-finals. It's low. Great defense from Anna. Match point.
It was on her racket. That's why we love to watch it. So much of this game played between the ears.
Please. Advantage, Messina.
Super serve. Second match point.
Messina. 2 sets to 1. 6-4, 3-6, victory.
Completes another dramatic win against Serena Williams. Terrific battle. There could only be one winner. It was Justine Henin. It is her 5th semi-final here at Wimbledon, and the crowd seem pretty pleased. Terrific battle and effort again from Serena Williams. Only she knows how lame she was and how painful the wrist was, but she gave it everything out here. But Justine good enough.
Crowds on their feet, showing their respect for both players. Both such great fighters, both such great competitors, but it's Justine who's able to raise her game when she needs to. Very high quality quarterfinal.
So just to remind you, we'll play Marion Bartoli of France, the 18th seed in the semi-finals. 6-4, 3-6, 6-3.